Season 13 of Destiny 2 is just one huge disappointment. You know, I was a part of me was still gullible enough to think that this there'll be a bunch of new weapons and a bunch of new armor sets, a bunch of new things to go for. Is there any of that? No. There's a few armor sets, a few weapons. Worse, eight of the weapons are weapons that we've had in previous seasons of Destiny 2, brought back at higher light levels, or higher power levels, so we can use them in more in the newer events and seasonal activities. And they've brought back some Destiny 1 weapons, which is fine, I guess, but I would have preferred something new. But whatever, I never played Destiny 1, so technically it's new to me. But I am so frustrated with this season. I'm so I'm so like I can't put into words how frustrated I am. And I'm sure many people who are playing Destiny 2 right now feel the same. Nothing feels exciting. Nothing that you get feels worthwhile because every weapon, every armor piece you get is to some degree not going to matter a few seasons down the line. Your favorite weapons no longer exist. Your dedicated armory, your loadout no longer matters because of this hugely misguided directive by presumably Luke Smith, who I've grown to really freaking hate on a professional level. It it seems to be, oh, well, we want everybody to chase new things. The issue is the new things that you're giving us are things that we've already gotten before. And for people who have played Destiny 1, everything is things that people have already gotten before. It's lazy. It's the easy way to go. Instead of making new things, making new weapons, making entire troves of new weapons, you decide, well, nah, we'll just bring back old weapons from previous seasons. They'll be fine. No, you will not get away with this. And God help us all if you do. God help Destiny 2 if you get away with this. I'm livid because I want this game to succeed. I want this game to come back. I want this game to 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 get back up from the pummeled, just destroyed positions that it's been in. And it seems that Bungie doesn't seem to. And it seems that Bungie thinks that, oh, it's not in that position, or at least Luke Smith doesn't feel like it's in that position. Luke Smith, God, when I found out about you and the shit that you have done, you've pissed me off. When one of the first seasons came around, which was season of the Forge, some of my favorite, beloved weapons that I still hold in my vault and I still try to use in some of the newer concepts, newer places, because I love these guns. I love the way they look, I love the way they sound, I love the way they feel. I I have saved them all in my vault because I worked my ass off trying to get the best rolls for every gun. Some of them were part of the raid, which I grinded that out with other people as well. And then sunsetting comes along, and it it's like it's like a huge it's basically Luke Smith saying fuck you. player base. Screw you, screw you, and screw you, and screw you. Fuck what you want. I'm going to do this because I think it's the best thing for the game. Despite no one having fucking asked. Originally, when the idea for sunsetting came to light, I think was around Season of Opulence, I was open to it. I was open to the. I was skeptical of it, yes, that's true, but I was open to it. I thought, well, maybe with the loss of the things that we do lose, we will get entirely new weapons. And not just new weapons and armor, but huge amounts of them, entire armories, entire like entirely new things to go for that are that are just like and no, none of that. Season 13 is one of the most blatant examples of just of it's one of the most blatant examples of laziness, and because this is what they've done. Do we get new weapons? No, we don't. A new exotic bow, and granted that exotic bow looks pretty fucking lazily made, but it's a pretty cool bow. I won't deny that. However, the new weapons, new quotation marks, are weapons that we've gotten from the Shattered Throne, Dreaming City weapons, basically. The Premonition Pulse Rifle, which is part of the Pit of the Heresy, which was a part about 3 or 4 seasons ago. No, it was, I don't even remember how many seasons ago. It was when Shadowkeep came out. And the return of 3 weapons from Altars of Sorrow. All weapons that were in this game before. That people worked their asses off to get the best rolls, to get the best rolls on both their armor, on both the weapons. They come back. It raises and their power caps are raised to the new power cap for Season 13. Do we see any new weapons? No. There's a new exotic bow. I haven't seen any new weapons. I am so fucking pissed. I am so done. When I started playing this game, I was having so much fun. There was no sun setting. I could go for whatever I wanted to go for. And what happens? They decide, the best course of action is for us to just remove 2/3 of the fucking game, and then reintroduce that same 2/3, except in significantly smaller portions, because we want people to go for newer things. How the fuck does that make any sense? When you bring back weapons that we've already gone for, how is that going for new weapons when they're weapons that we've gone for before? Luke Smith? You dumbass. I'm calling you a dumbass because quite frankly, you are. Sorry. But you have destroyed the enjoyment from that we get from grinding the game. It's no longer an enjoyable grind. It's a chore. I miss my Black Armory weapons, man. And like I said, I still use them whenever I can, whenever I get the chance. Because it's like I'm kind of I guess I'm trying to say fuck you to Luke Smith. I'm going to use whatever the fuck I want. But it doesn't change the fact that I can't use them in Deepstone Crypt, or I don't know if I can use them in the Battlegrounds activity. I haven't really touched the Battlegrounds activity yet. if it sounds like I'm depressed, it's because I kind of am. Because when I first started playing this game, I remember saying to my friend, "Ah, I'm not really gonna get into this. I'm not really gonna enjoy it." And then I started playing, and just I got hooked. I didn't know what it was. I just got hooked. I was playing this game sometimes more often than my friend was, and he was like, "Damn, dude." He got on the next day and he saw how my Titan looked the next day. He's like, "Damn, how long did you play?" Because I was having fun. I was enjoying the game. There was no caps to the things that I could get. There was no restrictions to the things that I could get. And granted, this was back in the year, and was back in like the first, beginning of Destiny 2. Well, this was like back in the last few days before Forsaken came out, when Destiny 2 went free for a small portion of time as like sort of like a marketing uh, like a marketing what's I don't know what the word is, a marketing ploy. I don't know what the other more friendly word to use for that, so let's use that for the introduction of the Forsaken campaign. And when Forsaken came out, still nothing was sunsetted, and people were having so much fun. I remember so many people just were like the amount of people that I was meeting, the amount of people that I was enjoying my time with. There were so many people, such a large abundance of people playing and grinding the game and still having fun doing it. And then we had our first warning sign, right? Season of Opulence, when there was this rumor going around that weapons were going to be restricted based on their power caps. And at first, I didn't want to really believe it because by that time I had my Black Armory weapons, and like I said, adore those guns. Beautiful weapons. And then it got to the last season, the season after Opulence, the season after the season of Opulence. I don't know what that one was. Maybe that was the last one. I don't really remember, but it was the last season, and then I realized that they were going through with it. And I was skeptical, and I thought, okay, fine, I'll give it a shot. And and when those weapons when I found out when Beyond Light came around, and the Black Armory weapons that I had were no longer a uh, viable weapons to use for Europa at the time. Now like they can, like in open world and lost sectors. Because they've been their light's been raised by 50, despite the power cap still saying they're 1060. When I found that, when I saw that, it devastated me, man, because I worked my ass off trying to get those guns. And there's gonna be, and anybody who doesn't like play video games would be like, yeah, it's just a video game. Why are you so? You wouldn't understand, okay? You wouldn't understand. Dedication to video games is like having dedication to a hobby, or like a drawing, or um, it's kind of like imagine this. Imagine if you drew something and then somewhere down the line somebody said, "Oh, your drawing's obsolete. Now we're gonna burn it." That's kind of how it is losing these weapons, and armor pieces that we work our asses off for. It'd be like if you wrote a book and you were about to publish it, but somebody said, "Nah, that kind of writing's obsolete. So we're gonna burn that, and you try this new thing." I want Destiny 2 to succeed. Don't get me wrong. Ever since I played it back in 2018, I was having a blast. And I remember I always joked with my friends, being like, "Man, I never thought I'd get into this game. Now look where I'm at." And I feel stupid now. because I'm I don't. If this isn't a wake up call for Bungie, if this even isn't a wake up call to Luke Smith, what I wouldn't love more is for sunsetting to be completely eliminated. I would love to use my Black Armory weapons again, because here's their idea. Here's their main idea is that we want people to use new things. There's nothing stopping from people. There's nothing stopping people from getting these new weapons and new armor pieces, even if they already have their god roll weapons and armor pieces. There's nothing stopping them. If I still had my Bark Armory weapons and Beyond Light, I still would have gone for Deepstone Crypt weapons. I still would have gone for the Europa water gun looking guns. I call them water guns because they kind of look like water guns. I still would have gone for them because it gives me something to do in the game. Just not just just because I have like god roll weapons or weapons that are particularly like powerful, basically. Like I don't fucking know, man. I can't form some coherent sentences just because of how frustrated I am, and I know that maybe I should have. I don't know. Maybe I should have avoided. Um, maybe I should have avoided making a video in the first place. But I wanted to say something because fuck, man. If I'm being honest with you, I am the game. I am the game. It feels like I'm fatigued, and that's weird to feel from a game. And nowadays, the grind feels pointless. Why go for something if I know that that weapon or armor piece is going to be sunsetted sometime down the line? Because even the new weapons that you get and the new armor pieces that you get will only last a few seasons until eventually the power level of activities surpasses what your gear is currently capable of, is currently capable of. Oh boy. Like I'm trying to like I don't I don't want to be like pessimistic, but they people were calling them out on the sunsetting idea, and there was a lot of people that were for it at first, but now even those people are against it now because of how it's been implemented. It's time to stop thinking of how something may be, and nowadays just assume the worst. Because with the sunsetting thing, the worst part of it has happened, and nothing good has come out of it. What a major fucking disaster. In my opinion, this disaster has this season feels to be. And I'm trying to I'm trying to see a silver lining to uh the sunsetting thing, but right now I just don't I don't see it. Um, I don't I just feel so fuck. I know it sounds like I'm fucking depressed. I mean, partly I'm tired, but I wanted to get a video out involving this because it seems other people were doing it, and I had plenty of things to say about it myself. As far as the experience of season 13 itself, it has been bland. Feels heavily copy and paste. I mean, I guess I shouldn't necessarily say that. The Battlegrounds activity is kind of neat, sorta, but at the same time, it's like a band-aid. And it's peeling off fast. I'm not even a weekend. People are already like frustrated with season 13, and I personally just want to stop. And all I can do really is hope that things will get better. Um, that personally, in a perfect world, for me, would be to just completely remove sunsetting altogether. And I'm tired of this thing about power creep. I don't really know what that means, so I'm not really gonna say anything about power creep. But I just want to be able to use the weapons that I work my ass off for. And Luke Smith basically said, "Nah, fuck you, fuck your work, fuck what you've done. I don't give a shit." Man, oh man, does this suck? I think I've said all that I have to say. I am incredibly frustrated, and more so, I feel depressed about the current state of how and how it seems and how it looks to be, how it seems the game is going to evolve, and it's not really evolving; it's evolving backwards. Man, it's frustrating. And at this point, I'm not gonna hold my breath for things to change. I'm gonna maybe I can hope for have a small amount of hope that Bungie will listen because a lot more people are frustrated about the way things are, and understandably so. It's really shitty that you're reissuing the weapons that we've already worked for. Case in point, weapons from the Shattered Throne, the pulse rifle from Pit of Heresy, weapons from Altars of Sorrow. You're bringing back D1 weapons like Shadow Price. Whoa, woo! Should you be applauded because that weapon was already seen before in Destiny 1? Sure, maybe the new lights will think it's new. I certainly have never used it before. Actually, I only started playing Destiny 2 right before Forsaken came out. But still, it kind of pisses me off that to know that it's a weapon that's already existed instead of something entirely new. That's it. I'm done. Reissuing weapons is bullshit. Come up with something new. Stop being lazy. Luke Smith, Bungie, entirely. If you're gonna sunset shit, make make entire. Don't make just incremental like nostalgia editions like Shadow Price and weapons from Destiny 1, and then reissue weapons from previous seasons. Fuck you, okay? I know that's really vulgar and, not really creative, but fuck you, okay? Fuck off and fuck you. If this is the way you're going to do sunsetting, sunsetting needs to be removed. Sunsetting. sunset Luke Smith if he's going to run and direct the development of this game in this fashion.